Hi. So in honor of my late Aunt Shay, this, as we like to say in my family, is Shay Day. This is 3 years from the day that Shay's existence left this earthly plane and moved on to a higher plane. Shay was someone who inspired others to be the very best they could possibly be. And she just had a way of getting it right out of them without even trying. The way she looked at you, the way she talked to you. She was quite simply the best person I've ever known, and she had many people whom she considered her best friend, but I considered her mine. She was also my aunt, and I'm fortunate enough to share genetics with her. She was an incredible human being, and everyone who knows her has a wonderful story about her. Shay inspired this video today too because she lived by example. I'd like to call this tuning into your optimal frequency. So it takes constant effort to change your diet, change your exercise routine, change your lifestyle. Yes, those things we can do. They take effort, but there's a formula. What's more difficult and simpler at the same time is changing your outlook, your perspective, tuning your frequency, tuning your point of view to the best, most positive, most crystalline, clear version you can possibly find. Shay was one of these people who had a way of never looking at anything in a negative light. My Uncle George, her dear husband, said at her memorial service that in 25 years he'd never heard her say a negative word about anyone. Well, I can tell you that in the 33 years that I knew her, I can say the same thing. I never heard her say a negative thing about anyone. I heard her have a problem with a certain decision somebody had made or a certain action someone had taken, but she never disparaged the person. She had a beautiful gift of separating the issue from the person. She knew how to tackle the problem and to not try to change the person whose problem it was. It's a brilliant gift. She still inspires me to this day to look at things in the most positive way, to try to find the silver lining in absolutely everything that you encounter. So, for her memorial service, actually I'll start by telling you a little story. The last time I got to see Shay was the day that she died, and I was fortunate enough to be with her for the entire week leading up to her death. The morning that I got on a train from Boston to New York, I thought I was going for a regular visit. I thought Shay had many years left. I thought that she was going to beat this cancer just as she had the two before it. And I was almost there, almost to New York on the train, and my Uncle George texted me, or he might have called me, I can't remember which, and he said, well, when you get here, just come straight to the hospital. We had to take Shay into the emergency room this morning. So I went straight to the hospital, and there was Shay and George, and not 5 minutes after I arrived, the doctors came in, and Shay said, well, give it to me straight. What's the deal? So they said, well, we can do the surgery. It's your heart is weakened. We can do a surgery to alleviate that, but we would hesitate to recommend this to an otherwise healthy person, and your body's been so severely weakened by the cancers that you've had that there's very little chance in you surviving this. And even if you do, you're getting maybe weeks, maybe months of life, and the quality of life will be severely diminished. So she said, well, if I don't do it, how long am I looking at? He said, well, it could be a week, it could be days, it could be hours, we don't know. So Shay looked at the doctors, she looked at me, she looked at George, and she said, well, I've had a great 66 years, let's plan the memorial service. Just like that. That was her entire reaction. A couple of seconds later, the doctors left, and Shay gathered me and George over to her, and she said, well, Christopher, we've been talking, George and I have been talking, and we want you to do the music for the memorial service. I want you to sing Over the Rainbow, Sunshine on My Shoulder, and What a Wonderful World. And I had the great honor of singing those songs for Shay, accompanied by my mother and my father and my brother on pianos and guitar. My father's the guitar. It was a beautiful experience. And Shay gave me yet another gift. She knew that I loved to express my emotions through song, through performing, and she gave me a great gift in giving me a last gig before she died. I'll never forget that, and that song that she had me sing, Sunshine on My Shoulder, still speaks to me of how I feel about her. Even out in the sun today at the beach, When I feel that sun beating down on my shoulder and on the back of my neck and on my face, I feel that presence from her. I feel that warmth and that caring. And so I'm going to record another version of that song today and attach it to this video. Shay taught us how to tune your frequency, how to find that positive outlook no matter what the situation. And I'm choosing to go forward living by her example and always trying to find the best, most positive way to look at everything, and I encourage you to do the same. Here's to Shay.